Controversial gene research has led scientists to unlock the secrets of DNA. What they discovered is something many of us have suspected all along. This is the mother of all trucks. Now get up to $2,000 cash allowance or low APR financing on Dodge Ram.
You're watching KPTV, Oregon's 12.
Tonight, first at 10, the power crunch gets worse. Tonight, California braces for rolling blackouts. Could Oregon be next?
Also, murder at Safeway. The suspect in court and new grim details about how he killed a coworker.
And a high-speed chase in a big rig down a busy highway. It's all caught on tape. It's 10 o'clock.
Live, Kurt Ludlow, Shauna Parsons, meteorologist Rod Hill, and Tim Becker Sports. This is the 10 o'clock news.
Good evening. A state of emergency in California tonight. Rolling blackouts are over for the night.
But tomorrow is a different story. Blackouts could even be more frequent than they were today. So tonight, Northwest Power administrators are trying to make sure the same thing doesn't happen here. KPTV's Anna Katayama has been following the situation. She joins us live now with the latest. Anna?
Well, Kurt and Shauna, California up until now has managed to scrounge up power from various sources, but today, luck ran out. Now, Northwest utilities obviously aren't facing the same sort of problems that California utilities are facing, but what happens in California does affect us here, or it can. And Northwest administrators say that these controlled blackouts in California are actually saving us from potential trouble.
Just before noon, the rolling blackouts hit Northern California, knocking out TV stations, ATMs, and traffic lights. Police officers direct traffic and store clerks resort to pocket calculators to ring up sales.
What we're dealing with is a very constrained system, and I do not see something coming back at this time that's going to alleviate that situation.
California called on the Bonneville Power Administration this morning for help.
They asked us if there was more that we could do, and we really couldn't. We can't go out on a limb, so to speak, for California.
The BPA says it didn't want to risk the reliability of the Northwest power supply. At this control center in Vancouver, workers keep a 24-hour watch on the West Coast system.
We watch very carefully the power that's moving up and down the coast. The system really operates as if it were a single system.
If there isn't enough energy to meet the amount of draw, the system can become unstable, leading to random, uncontrolled blackouts, not only in California, but in Oregon and Washington as well.
The California utilities and the authorities down there, the independent system operator, is using this rolling blackout technique to make sure that the system doesn't get out of balance and that our lights stay on as well.
Well, in California today, that blackout order was in effect from 12 noon until 2 in the afternoon. The state did manage to avoid a second round of blackouts that was planned for this evening, but the situation tomorrow is not expected to be any better. It could be a lot worse. Some are estimating that it'll be twice as bad as it was today. Back to you.
And Anna, just to be clear, every bit of electricity that we send down to California, they have to return twice as much to us, right?
That's right, Kurt. It's a pretty good deal for us, and we don't have to send the power down there if we can. So that's what we're doing right now.
Anna Katayama live. Thanks.
Intel executives are keeping a close watch on the California power crunch. The company has a major manufacturing facility in the Silicon Valley, an area affected by today's blackout. So far, Intel says it has enough of a backup system to keep its California manufacturing from being affected. The company says it's been working to reduce its consumption of electricity since long before the current crisis.
Effort into long-term energy conservation measures. In Oregon alone, we've reduced our energy use compared to what it would have been without energy conservation by 20% in the last 3 to 5 years, while the company has grown here by 50%.
The company says it was lured to Oregon in part by the availability of electricity here. Be sure to keep it on KPTV Oregon's 12 for continuing coverage of the West Coast power crunch. We'll have the latest right here on the 10 o'clock news.
The murder of a local teenager may be linked to a love triangle. Battleground police say Jay Rich confessed to killing Bryce Powers, a co-worker at a Safeway store. We want to warn you about what you'll hear in this story. KPTV's Drew Mickelson found out how Powers died and why police think he was killed.
Police say there were what are being called friction between the two Safeway employees. One of those issues may have involved a 16-year-old girl who also worked the store. She was the murder victim's current girlfriend and a past girlfriend of the Safeway murder suspect, Jay Rich.
Item number 31 on the first appearance docket is J. Richard Rich.
In front of a Clark County judge, 18-year-old Jay Rich was accused of murder.
This is an incident in which the defendant is alleged to have killed a 20-year-old co-worker by cutting his throat with a knife.
Prosecutors allege Rich killed 20-year-old Bryce Powers Saturday night. Court documents say he killed him while the two were at work at the Battleground Safeway.
The defendant was standing on the victim's chest, keeping him from making sounds while the defendant died.
Prosecutors say Powers died after a fight between the two men in a stockroom of the Safeway store. They say Rich then hid Powers' body in shrubs behind the store before eventually taking the body to Larch Mountain late Saturday night. Police found the body Tuesday morning.
He's the one that led us to the body.
Battleground police say Jay Rich confessed to the crime after investigators discovered the murder victim's wallet in Jay Rich's Vancouver home. They say they also found the murder weapon there. The motive is still not completely clear, but police say apparently the two co-workers were not friends.
There have been some indications that there was some friction between them over a prior girlfriend as well as other frictions. I'm not going to elaborate on them, but there was more than one issue.
All set bail in the amount of $750,000.
Rich is a senior at Vancouver's Evergreen High School, where he was known as a good student who enjoyed wrestling. This murder accusation comes as a complete surprise to classmates.
It's not like him. He's I don't know what he would do, but that's not like him. It doesn't look good for him. He's got to be really scared because, I mean, that's the rest of his life that just got ruined.
The key witness in this murder case appears to be Jay Rich's stepfather. He apparently found the murder victim's wallet in his stepson's bedroom and notified the police. After getting a search warrant, police found the wallet, the murder weapon, and traces of the victim's blood in Jay Rich's trunk.
Police say after Jay Rich cut Bryce Powers' throat, he dumped him in the bushes behind the store. He went back to work. Apparently, when he finished his shift 4 hours later, he put Powers in his trunk and drove up to Larch Mountain. Police do think Rich acted alone during the entire night.
Vancouver police have arrested a registered sex offender and charged him with raping a woman he met over the internet. We first told you about the story Monday night. Lynn Backus has been arraigned and is in jail. Bail is set at $100,000. A Vancouver woman says she met Backus online and agreed to a date with him. She says he attacked her in her home. A witness to murder on the run has been arrested. 23-year-old Naomi Rios was arrested yesterday by Beaverton police on cocaine possession. Washington County lawyers want her to testify against her own father, Ruben Rios. He is on trial, accused of taking money to kill and rape the 15-year-old girlfriend of Gildardo Perez Salazar. That murder attempt failed. 20-year-old Salazar is still at large.
Tonight, Oregon is reporting its first known death related to the drug ecstasy. Toxicology results prove 18-year-old Peter Vu died from an overdose of ecstasy. In early December, Vu collapsed at a rave and died 3 days later at Legacy Emanuel Hospital. The medical examiner reported that the drug caused Vu to have a seizure, a mild heart attack, and blocked oxygen to his heart and brain.
The Portland Police Bureau under fire tonight. Some say the officers police through intimidation and discrimination. A petition is now being circulated for more police accountability. KPTV's Chris Murphy is live in Southeast Portland tonight. Chris?
Well, Shauna, the Police Accountability Campaign 2002 kicked off today. They want an independent civilian review board of all police activities. Others say Portland police have a tough job, and they do it well.
It isn't nice to go to jail.
Loudspeakers.
There's tons over here.
Picket signs.
We have a petition for police accountability.
Petitions. Whatever it takes to get the word out.
We want to see police officers understand that they are public servants serving us. They're not there to push people around because they don't like the way we look or the way we talk or the color of our skin or how big our paycheck is.
Making the police be accountable?
This is the kickoff of Police Accountability Campaign 2002. Organizer Dave Mazza plans to qualify his proposal for an independent civilian police review board for the May 2002 ballot. He and other demonstrators say the Portland Police Bureau is out of touch and targets the homeless and minorities.
The concept of cutting and grooming their hair in a particular way is all part of that as well. It's all part to dehumanize the officers from the constituency.
Should we all look like homeless people? Should we look like, people in prison? Should we look like our business people? No, we should look like Portland police officers.
It's not so much how the police looked, but how they acted during the May Day riot that has some people signing the petition.
It would be an excruciating understatement to say that I'm unhappy.
Others refused to sign.
I've been satisfied. I think they're doing a good job in a tough profession.
Then the debate flooded inside City Hall for a special hearing. Standing room only as the City Council heard reports of the Portland Internal Investigations Auditing Committee work group on citizen oversight of police. These committee members are not part of Mazza's group, but they all want the same thing, more accountability. But Chief Croker tells me he does not think an independent citizens review board will be approved by the City Council.
Let's look at the proposals, let's examine things, let's see if what is being recommended really will make the organization a better one. If it will, I'm for it. I haven't been convinced so far.
Now, the Police Accountability Campaign 2002 must get 32,000 signatures in the next 12 months to get that on the ballot for next year. Shauna, back to you.
All right, Chris Murphy live tonight. Thank you, Chris. Well, it may soon become easier to become a Portland police officer. The Bureau is considering relaxing the requirements from a 4-year college degree to 2 years of college. The city also wants to increase the number of minority applicants. They have positions to fill now, and they are expecting more than 100 officers to retire in 2002. Police agencies all across the country are having a tough time attracting candidates.
New tonight, the Clackamas County Sheriff's Department will not discipline anyone for the deadly shooting of a deputy. 35-year-old Bill Bowman was shot in the head during a SWAT training exercise in September. All of the guns used in that drill were supposed to be loaded with blanks. Firearms instructor Kevin Vale fired the fatal shot. Authorities have ruled it was an accident.
An early morning fire just off of Southwest Macadam kept firefighters busy for most of the morning. The 2-alarm blaze caused $125,000 of damage to the Edgeworks West Coast Stone building. The fire burned for about an hour and a half before being discovered. Investigators say the fire was caused by an electrical malfunction in a mezzanine office area.
A short flight for a plane headed from Portland to Hawaii. It had to return to PDX after losing an engine. Here's video taken by one of the passengers aboard Hawaiian Airlines Flight 25. You can see fuel, top of your screen there, being dumped from the wing of the plane as it flew back toward Portland. Planes can't land when they're full of fuel. They're just too heavy. A Beaverton couple on their way to Hawaii for their honeymoon, they say they sensed something was wrong from the get-go.
As we were getting ready to go, there was a really loud bang. We weren't really sure what that was. And then the plane kind of wobbled a little bit. And it didn't really take off very well, so we figured maybe it had blown a tire or something. And then I looked out the window and I saw just mass amounts of fuel being dumped out of one of the engines, and the captain came on and announced that we had lost an engine, and we had to dump it in order to land because we were too heavy, we were overfueled.
All the passengers should be in Hawaii by now. They were put on another plane.
Coming up, controversy over the 10 Commandments. A copy might be coming to a public school near you at 10:46.
Also, new details about the man who crashed a big rig into California's Capitol building. The fiery crash at 10:41.
And this Oregon man thought he was getting a good deal on a loan, but I-Team 12 discovers his good deal turned out to be a bad trick at 10:16.
On the weather deck, I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. Still cloudy skies across the northwest. High temperature today in Portland was only 40 degrees. A chilly day. The morning low is 28. Tomorrow's forecast is coming your way at 10:27.
I'm Kimberly Moss.
And I'm Ken Ackerman. Tomorrow on Good Day Oregon, Seinfeld fans remember him as Elaine's boss, the quirky Jay Peterman. We'll meet actor John O'Hurley tomorrow.
Plus, Marianne Bowers shows us how to make warm and seasonal table decorations. Also, we'll dance to the bossa sounds of Brazilian musician Ronnie Robbins.
And you're going to have 2 more chances to win that membership to Resort to Fitness tomorrow.
The spicy new sourdough pepper jack burger at Carl's Jr.
Connie Richardson has suffered from migraines for over 20 years. That's why she appreciates Marilyn Wong, her Fred Meyer pharmacist. Marilyn knows what medications work for Connie and how they may react with any new prescriptions. She also recommends generic drugs that save her money and always has a kind word.
What's on your list today? You'll find it at Fred.
Choosing a dealership to do business with may be different than choosing a dog, but people still look for some of the same qualities. At Armstrong Volkswagen, we strive to give our customers recognition and attention so they know when they get here they've come to the right place. We're loyal, consistent, and forgiving. The senior citizen buys a car from me, doesn't like it for any reason, return it within 3 days, and I'll give you all your money back. We do this with the belief that with the proper training, our dealership will be our customers' best friends. Armstrong Volkswagen, drivers wanted.
The Build, Remodel, and Landscape Show is coming this Friday through Sunday. Meet the top remodelers and home improvement experts at the Portland Memorial Coliseum next to the Rose Garden, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only.
8 years ago, we got a homicide. Same MO, same victim profile.
Who did this?
We intend to find out.
Do you promise me that you will?
Detective Jerry Black made a promise he can't break.
You could expect another incident.
To catch a killer he can't find.
I made a promise.
Jack Nicholson.
You gotta get a hold of yourself.
In a Sean Penn film.
This guy is real and I know it.
The Pledge, rated R, starts Friday at a theater near you.
If you're looking for a loan, you're probably making sure you get a good interest rate.
But you might want to keep your eye out for something else. I-Team 12 investigates loan scams preying on people right here in the Portland area. Here's Carrie Tomlinson with the story.
There are companies out there that will set you up with a good interest rate, good terms, and pretty low payments. Sounds like a good deal, but what's the catch? Unfortunately, people around Oregon are finding out.
It showed up one day.
Right here.
In the classified section of Scott Gray's Salem newspaper.
And what I was looking for is a place that I can consolidate all my bills, pay all my bills off, and have one bill.
Scott was feeling lost.
Bankruptcy or bad credit.
Then suddenly found.
Do you need help?
A solution, it seemed, to his bad credit and late bills.
Hudson and Blake.
This company, Hudson and Blake, told him on the phone they would arrange a loan. $25,000 at 8% interest. His monthly payment, about $600 a month.
And I got really excited because nobody else, that I talked to would because my credit's so bad.
Scott and his wife wired their rent and their car payment Western Union, then waited for the loan check.
If worse comes to worse, we'll just lose our home and our car. And she said, I don't think we're going to. And I said, I don't either. I mean, we just had a really good feeling about this.
But those good feelings began to fade and yellow like an old newspaper when the check never came. Their money, gone.
And I'm thinking, do I have something written across my forehead that says, go ahead, pick me, I'll fall for it?
The Federal Trade Commission says there are thousands of people like Scott. Businesses are out there calling you up or putting out an ad, waiting for you to fall into the trap. Is Hudson and Blake one of them, or was it just a mistake?
You have reached Hudson and Blake.
I-Team 12 called for answers. They say they're located at this address in Hillside, New Jersey. But other companies in that building say they've never heard of Hudson and Blake.
Do leave a detailed message, including your name and number.
Where are they really located? The evidence points across the border, where it may be harder for U.S. law enforcement to reach them. The person who answered our call spoke with a Canadian accent. Their answering machine message uses a special phrase.
The representative will return your call in priority sequence.
In priority sequence, unusual for American businesses, but commonly used in Eastern Canada. And they asked Scott Gray to send his money to a Western Union in Toronto. When we asked them about Scott's complaint, they disconnected our call.
I would never send them money. I would never send them money because you don't know where it's going. It's a big hole.
Educator Rich Reiner says you need to ask the questions before you pay. He works with Solutions, a consumer credit counseling service in the Clackamas area, helping people change the behaviors that got them into debt.
And when you get desperate, you make illogical, irrational kinds of choices and decisions, and you're open to that sort of thing. And that's, unfortunately, many people prey on that.
Scott Gray realizes what went wrong.
You talk yourself into things when you want something so bad and you're so desperate. You know, we justified everything in our head.
Luckily, he will not lose his home nor his car. He found people who will work with him. But he is losing something deeper that will hurt long after his bills are paid off.
But they rob from in here. They take your belief in other people, and they walk all over it, and it's hard to start believing in other people again.
Now we have the ad right here, and something to watch for if you see an ad like this and you're interested. If they want you to pay money first for a loan, whether it's an application fee or if they call it the first payment, the FTC says that is a warning sign that you could be about to get
pain. Doctors thought she would be hospitalized for at least a year, but Allison proved them wrong.
All of us are quite pleased. Her outcome so far is much better than we expected it.
I can't is not in her vocabulary. I just don't think that the child believes there's anything she can't do.
After 2 months of rehabilitation, Allison showed signs of her former self. When she started walking last week, doctors decided it was time for her to go home.
Just to see her do what she's done, I don't know, it makes you proud because of the fact that she's just been worked so hard to be where she is.
Allison's hair is growing out from the surgery. She doesn't have full control of her left arm, and her speech is limited. But she continues to smile through the hardships. Allison is determined to go back to school in a few weeks and looks forward to taking Taekwondo lessons again. She's already planning the future, while her friends and family are just grateful she's alive.
We get to live at home again together and then be a family again.
In Wilsonville, Julia Scara, the 10 o'clock news.
Nice to see her smile. A long road ahead for Allison, though. She will need physical, speech, and occupational therapy a couple of times a week, and she will be monitored by doctors until she is an adult. Doctors say she will face challenges, but she can lead a normal, happy life.
Boy, you see that rock and you think she's lucky even just to be here.
Well, and we were talking about it really was a freak accident. It was a rock caught between the wheels of on a semi, right? 2 wheels, and it just flew up and hit the car.
So nice to see her. We're doing well. Iraqi President Saddam Hussein is celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the Gulf War, but you might be surprised about what he's saying about that war.
Also, a big rig leads police on a high-speed chase. It's all caught on tape at 10:41.
And computer hackers around the world are entering a contest to break into a company's security system. The big reward at 10:50.
Airfares are falling again. It's Frontier's 4th annual Winter White Sale. Buy your tickets by January 22nd, fly by June 13th, and pile up big savings to Frontier towns everywhere. Call today or book online and save another 5%.
Install a Trane high-efficiency natural gas furnace and receive a $200 rebate. Also, Tri-County will buy your oil back and donate it. Call Tri-County Temp Control at 503-557-2220.
You remember Jared from Subway? Turns out he's inspired a lot of people.
He's still looking good. He'll show you the way. His name is Jared, and he'll lead you to Subway. That's where it goes, along with the rest. For 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less.
What an inspiration. Subway. Eat fresh.
Should the 10 Commandments be posted in school? Some Oregon lawmakers say it's a good idea. Find out what students think about this controversial plan coming up on the 10 o'clock news.
It's coming. Something so big, it will change the way you shop forever. It's the big event at Standard TV and Appliance.
Sale prices on Mitsubishi, RCA, Zenith, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, GE, Maytag, and more.
Hurry to Standard for 5 months, no payments, no interest financing.
There has never been a sale this big before. The big event, now at Standard TV and Appliance.
This is kind of how you look to the infrared sensors in the all-new Dodge Caravan. They read the temperature around the driver, front passenger, and back passengers, and give each zone its own control. It's the only minivan that offers automatic 3-zone climate control, because some like it hot, some like it cool, and some just want in. Dodge Grand Caravan, the best minivan ever. Now get a $1,000 cash allowance on the minivan rated best by AAA.
With AT&T high-speed cable internet service, you don't just use the internet, you experience it. Nothing moves you like the speed of AT&T at home. Go cable, go faster. Get free installation and your first 6 months at $19.95 per month.
I'm Pete Ferryman. Tomorrow on Good Day Oregon at 5, police say they've never seen anything like it. A suspect mails a videotape to authorities, daring them to catch him. The story tomorrow.
Well, this is an unbelievable story. A Michigan pastor is in fair condition after being crushed by an icicle that weighed half a ton. Reverend Mark Trump was clearing away icicles from the church's roof when a giant mass of ice fell on him. He suffered a broken shoulder and a very severe leg injury.
It's unclear what happened. And my first thought was, whoa, that knocked the wind out of me. I looked down at my foot, and I saw 2 bones sticking out. And now I realize that it feels like it's on fire.
Well, surgeons had to amputate his left leg below the knee. Although he's struggling with the accident, Trump says it was God's will.
In other news from America tonight, new information about the truck driver who crashed his big rig right into the state capitol building in California. Police now say the driver had a history of legal and mental problems, but they also say he never made any threats toward government workers. Witnesses report the truck did pass by the Capitol building several times before crashing into it. The driver died in that inferno. No one else was hurt.
Well, a truck driver is in jail after leading police on a high-speed chase through several towns in Massachusetts. State police say the chase started after the big rig was involved in a hit-and-run accident. The driver sped through busy highways, swerving in and out of traffic for quite a while. Then the truck took a sharp curve, ended up spinning out on the shoulder of the road. As you can see, police stormed the truck and took that driver into custody.
A police marine unit in Chicago faced a slippery situation trying to rescue a dog. See him there stranded on the ice? The pooch was stuck for more than 2 hours in the area that separates Lake Michigan from the Chicago River. Police think it's the same dog that was stranded and later rescued off Lake Michigan's shoreline a few weeks ago. No word yet on the repeat offender's owner or where the dog might live.
In world news tonight, it is official. OPEC announces plans to cut oil production starting next month. Oil-producing nations are concerned that as the world economy slows, a glut of oil would threaten to reduce the price of crude. The U.S. and Europe had lobbied for OPEC to keep crude flowing at current levels. Normally, a cut in output would raise prices, but in this case, it's not clear how it will affect prices. That's because Iraq, a member of OPEC, is withholding most of its crude from the market.
The day after the 10th anniversary of the start of the Persian Gulf War, Iraqi President Saddam Hussein spoke to his nation on TV. He called Iraq's enemies followers of Satan, and he said it was Iraq that eventually came out victorious in the war. Last night, we asked you if the U.S. should have gone after Saddam Hussein during the Gulf War. Here's how you answered our 12 Talkback Online poll. 86% of you said yes, 14% said no.
Tonight, an Oregon mother is under fire for disciplining her child. See what led the community to call the police on her.
Also, the 10 Commandments in every public school. One Oregon lawmaker wants it to happen. What are students saying? That's at 10:46.
Plus, turning bus stops into high-tech information centers. See how TriMet is revolutionizing public transportation at 10:50.
Now, time for a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers, starting with Oregon Megabucks, 7, 8, 18, 33, 39, and 42.
Now to the Washington Lotto, 6, 12, 21, 25, 31, 33, and the daily game, 320.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot, $22 million. 9, 16, 28, 31, 48. The Powerball 36. Good luck.
Detectives come face to face with one of the most notorious serial killers in history. The next arrest and trial.
Tonight at 11 on Oregon's 12. If the world's getting heavier in the Northwest, it's from an overstock of Chevy trucks, which calls for the Northwest's biggest truck sale ever at Car Chevy World. 250 trucks must be sold by the end of this month, so choose from over 600 new Chevys with over 120 Silverados. Extended cabs start at only $19,995. Over 100 new Chevy Tahoes, fully loaded, only $29,995. The Northwest's biggest truck sale ever, where salaried salespeople see it your way. Car Chevy World, Beaverton, Canyon Road, 1 block west of Murray.
At Taco Time, we churn out fresh tortilla chips using the industry's best, most high-tech chip-making machines. This one is named Mike. Introducing our new Chipotle Ranch Taco with fresh tomato salsa, pepper jack cheese, lettuce, seasoned lean ground beef, and our delicious Chipotle Ranch sauce. Just 99 cents, only at Taco Time. It's a really great taco at a really great price.
The wind is out there, whispering past our faces, as if to say, I can breathe life into anything.
Clean wind power. Just one more way Portland General Electric is preparing for tomorrow, today. Let the future begin.
On Wall Street today, the Dow was down 68 points at 10,584. The Nasdaq up 64 at 2682. The 10 o'clock news continues in a moment.
I feel trapped by depression. My world is filled with sadness. Can't go on this way. What can I do?
Depression affects over 50 million Americans, 1 out of every 5 people. At Pacific Northwest Clinical Research Center, you can take part in an investigational medication research study for depression at no cost.
Now I know someone cares.
Call Pacific Northwest Clinical Research Center at 503-228-CARE.
We're the people you can depend on. For quality, it's all right here.
And now, during our store-wide New Year's sale, every item is reduced from 20 to 50% off regular price. Choose from over 50 dining room sets, 30 bedroom galleries, fine office and computer furniture. Enjoy a custom-built home theater or entertainment center. Come see the quality for yourself during Oak Unlimited's New Year's sale. It's on now.
Oak Unlimited. Depend on us today.
Welcome back. There's a lot of talk tonight about a plan to hang a copy of the 10 Commandments in every school in Oregon.
It is a very controversial idea, and as KPTV's Jim Hyde reports, the question is, should religion be part of a public school?
If a copy of the 10 Commandments was posted here in the main hall at Lake Oswego High School, would people notice? Well, surely. Would they approve? Not likely.
Because it is a religious view, I don't think it should be in the school, in a public school.
It's not that the students in Brenda Lavender's political action seminars class do not believe in thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, and so forth. They see it as a religious document. But the sponsor of the bill to bring the 10 Commandments to your neighborhood school calls it an historical one, too.
We'll ensure that women are told before an abortion how the procedures are done.
Republican Representative Betsy Close of Albany supported pro-life legislation, such as parental notification laws for teens seeking abortions, in the last session. This time, she's sponsoring the 10 Commandments bill in Salem. Close says it's like a Kentucky law that allows display of the commandments if a majority of voters in a district approve and pay for it with donations. Students see both opposition and support.
There's also people that would definitely be willing to put it up because it does have a lot of good things to say.
Close says many of our laws are based on the 10 Commandments. Presidential candidates like Steve Forbes have made their display part of his platform, and congresspersons have offered similar legislation. But schools tread a fine line in matters of faith and feelings.
Instead of encouraging a lot of diverse opinions, that we'd be sponsoring some, and I wouldn't want to see us do that.
Whether the bill finds enough sponsorship to get out of the House Rules Committee and onto the floor for debate is an open question. Jim Hyde, the 10 o'clock news.
Representative Close says similar 10 Commandments bills are being considered in Indiana and South Dakota. So what do you think? Should the 10 Commandments be posted in Oregon schools? That's tonight's 12 Talkback Online poll question. Log on to our website. It's at Oregons12.com, and you can see results tomorrow night on the 10 o'clock news.
A young Medford girl who deliberately stepped in wet cement has to sell off some of her toys to pay for the damage, and her mother ends up defending herself as a parent. The prank caused more than $4,000 worth of damage, so to help pay for it, Morgan Bechtold's mother took out an ad in the paper for a consequence sale. Well, this attracted so much attention, both police and Child Protective Services visited Morgan's mother's house.
Officer arrived here to be sure that Morgan wasn't being neglected or abused, because he had received numerous phone calls from concerned citizens that Morgan was an abused child.
Well, Mary, the mother, says the officer actually approved of what she was doing and said more parents should teach kids responsibility for their actions. Meanwhile, Morgan says she will never do anything like that again.
Tonight, hackers around the world have been issued a challenge: crack the security system at an Illinois computer company and win $50,000. That's the reward from the owner of Argus Systems. He's so confident his security program, nicknamed Pitbull, is hacker-proof, he decided to start a contest. Any hacker who cracks the system within the next 2 weeks wins the loot. So far, no one's done it. Computer experts who have tried say they are not surprised.
Any such thing as a completely secure operating system or network. But I think as far as their product goes, it's extremely good.
I'm not in the business of giving away money, so I'm not terribly anxious to give away $50,000, and I'm confident I won't have to.
Well, if no one wins the contest, the Pitbull will remain the undefeated champion of the computer hacking world.
And he got lots of free publicity as a result, huh? Well, have you ever been waiting at a bus stop and you wondered if you had time to run to the ATM before the bus arrives? Well, now you will know exactly when your bus will arrive thanks to Transit Tracker. It uses global positioning satellite technology to display real-time bus arrival. What a great idea. TriMet is now putting it at some bus stops around town, and here's how it works.
There it goes. When it says due, that means it's within 1 minute. The bus has arrived. Gives people a lot of freedom to know what they can do with their time. If you have 10 minutes before a bus is coming, you can run across the street, or go to the ATM, pick up a cup of coffee, a newspaper. It's just another way of making transit a lot more convenient for our riders.
Well, there is a transit tracker at the MLK and Killingsworth stop next month. One will be installed downtown. TriMet hopes to have between 20 to 25 installed by this fall.
I bet my wife would love to have one of those in my car.
Yeah.
He'll be home in 2 minutes.
Yeah, but you probably wouldn't like it, would you?
Wouldn't like it a bit. An update to tonight's top stories and the pinpoint forecast coming up in the 11 o'clock headline.
And in sports, former Blazer Brian Grant is back in Portland tonight hosting a dinner party. Tim Becker will tell you what this event is all about.
Ready, set, go.
It's not whether you win or lose. It's what you're driving when you play the game. Introducing the more stylish, more powerful all-new Civic from Honda. Amazing, but true.
I'm here for the free checkup.
Bring your transmission to AMCO. Get a comprehensive checkup for free. And if your transmission is in good condition, get our Safeguard fluted filter change for only $49.95. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO. Bring your car, too.
When you step into Interior Motives, why is it so hard to leave?
The service is excellent. The people are very helpful.
I love the whole atmosphere of the store.
You will find something for everyone here.
January 19th and 20th. Save 40 to 60% off everything during Interior Motives Once in a Blue Moon sale. Friday and Saturday only.
I come in here with really nothing in mind, and I leave with everything.
Interior Motives, romancing the home.
Mixed up about some merchandise? We can help.
Getting your message to the right people is as close as your computer with Consumer Action. Exclusively at Oregons12.com.
That's fast. Wix has 48-hour delivery on all in-stock merchandise.
And they bring it all the way inside.
No sitting around waiting for weeks.
2 days later, it's right here in your timeshare condominium.
Fast.
It's Wix Furniture's big 3-day super sale starting tomorrow. Huge savings everywhere you look. Plus, put no money down with no monthly payments and no finance charges due for 1 year with a Wix charge.
48 hours? That's like 2 days.
Introducing the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. And the 2001 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Silverado Heavy Duty.
This sports report on the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by American Family Insurance. All your protection under one roof. Look in the white or yellow pages and call today.
Tamara Wegleitner. Their farm has been insured with American Family for 2 generations.
We work hard out there. Trust is a big thing to us. If we ever needed them, American Family would be there. The farm's our life. It's everything we have.
All your protection under one roof.
American Family Insurance.
Look in the white or yellow pages for American Family and call today.
Now sports with Tim Becker.
Riding high after their first 2-0 conference road start in a long time, the Portland Pilots ran aground tonight at Gonzaga. Boy, they hit hard, too. Shot just 31% for the game in Spokane, so we'll show you just one of their few highlights, a jumper by Tim Frost, who finished with 11 points. But the story here, they fall behind 29-4, 10 minutes into the game. South Eugene's Blake Stepp to Casey Calvary. He had 17. Portland hit only 4 shots in the first half, while Prairie High's Dan Dickow was firing away for threes. Gonzaga leads 37-17 at halftime. Dickow ends up with 10 points, and the Pilots suffer their first conference loss of the season, 81-57. Another blowout in the Pac-10 tonight. The Cal Bears hanging their heads all night at Stanford, where the top-ranked Cardinal get 18 points from Jerron Collins, 2 on the slam for the 62-36 lead. Once again, Casey Jacobson leads the way with 19 for top-ranked Stanford, who improves to 16-0, winning 84-58. So, in search of a better game, we take you to the Beaverton Jesuit girls matchup. Both teams unbeaten in league. First quarter, the Beavers, Stephanie Scott goes backdoor for the layup, and they lead 14-9 after 1. But Jesuit takes over after that. Lexi Helgerson's drive going to put them in front for good in this one. They open a 5-point lead when Rachel Knox feeds Helgerson for another layup. Helgerson 12 points by halftime, leading Jesuit to the 52-48 win as they take sole possession of first place in the Metro Conference. All right, you know, last time the Blazers played Miami in November, Brian Grant scored 24 points and had 13 rebounds. You better believe he's hoping for more of the same when tomorrow night he makes his first appearance at the Rose Garden since he was traded away last year. Now, he may have left Portland, but his heart is still here. Tonight, his foundation hosted a fundraiser at El Gaucho restaurant downtown to benefit the Ronald McDonald Houses of Portland. The dinner, expected to raise $20,000, was sold out, and you can expect the same for tomorrow's game, one he's been looking forward to ever since their last meeting a couple of months ago.
The Blazers are playing very well right now. I mean, I watch them, I follow them. I have relationships with Stacey Augmon and Greg Anthony, and we talk a lot. They're playing good ball. Damon's playing well. Rashid is having a superb year. Other guys are stepping up, so it's going to be a tough game. We don't think we're just going to come here and take it. If we want to win, we got to come in here and bring it.
Meantime, in Utah tonight, Portland's Terrell Brandon scores 9 of his 19 points in the fourth quarter for the Timberwolves. The jumper, with about 1:40 to go, snapped a 78-all tie. Minnesota never trailed after that. Brandon, one of his 11 assists to Anthony Peeler, and his 3 puts the game out of reach for the Jazz, whose 4-game win streak ends losing 89-81. And the verdict is in for Marcus Camby's outburst on Monday. The Knicks forward has been suspended for 5 games without pay for throwing that wild sucker punch at San Antonio's Danny Ferry. Camby was also fined $25,000. That brings the total cost of his little temper tantrum to about $345,000. Ohio State University has its new football coach, and it's nobody from Oregon, Stanford, or even the Oakland Raiders. Jim Tressel, who led Division I AA Youngstown State to 4 national titles in 15 seasons, will be introduced as the Buckeyes head coach tomorrow. Finally, baseball, the Mariners showed they're happy with the guy who replaced Ken Griffey Jr. by signing him to a 3-year contract today. Mike Cameron hit 19 home runs, drove in 78 runs last season. That's a career best for him to help the Mariners reach the ALCS. Ken Griffey Jr. officially gone for good, I guess.
Thank you, Tim.
Yep.
Updating our top stories in the 11 o'clock headlines. California has declared a state of emergency tonight because of the power crunch. Workers at the Bonneville Power Administration are keeping a close eye on the power that's moving up and down the coast from a command center. If there isn't enough energy to meet the amount of draw, the system can become unstable, leading to...
Detective Jerry Black made a promise he can't break.
You could expect another incident.
To catch a killer he can't find.
I made a promise.
Jack Nicholson.
You gotta get a hold of yourself.
In a Sean Penn film.
This guy is real and I know it.
The Pledge, rated R, starts Friday at a theater near you.
Out
want a new truck, one that can't sit still, one that moves with grit and grace, and with looks that kill.
Your Toyota dealer has the SUV you want, like the powerful 4Runner. Now with $750 customer cash. And here's the good stuff. You make no payments for 90 days. See your Toyota dealer today.
Oh, I want a new truck.